So apparently, and this is a PSA to anybody out there who may be trying something similar, apparently making a series based around farming some of the rarest drops in a given game is not the way to go about getting said drops. And if you're completely lost as to what I'm talking about, no worries. You may be aware that I have a little series on this channel called the DZ Farming Series. It boils down to the fact that I'm an RNG addict, and so I really enjoy going into the Dark Zone and trying to get these rare drops that the game offers, even though I already have the items, just to see if we can pull that elusive drop chance. The series popped off this past year, which, by the way, I thank you all so much for the support on those videos. Finally, though, we got one of the three just a few months ago. I did a video about how I finally got an Eagle Bear out of the Dark Zone. The irony was that it didn't actually happen in the middle of one of these videos. Instead, it happened while I was not recording, and so I didn't even get my reaction to it. But we did that video to sort of celebrate and commemorate that happening. Well, it happened again. But at least this time I got a reaction on footage. Take a look. There's snow at the White House. Good amount of stuff. We got it. We got an exotic, but it looks like it's not an AR, so it's almost assuredly a pestilence.
Landmark has been cleared.
The CC is so quick, you'd be better off using Banshee or something else.
Hilo is returning to base.
Okay, gotcha. Oh! We just got a Ravenous! On a targeted AR day! Haha! What are the chances? What are the chances? So, yeah, that happened live on stream the other day, and it means that I officially now have 2 out of the 3 rare drops that this series set out to do, you know, ever since that beginning episode. So, yeah, I wanted to hop on today to share that all with you and let you know that that happened, but also just to provide a bit of a follow-up to the DZ Farming series overall. If you did watch that previous episode about me getting the Eagle Bear, you may recall that I was assuring everybody that the series was not going to end, that I was going to continue making episodes until I got all 3 of the drops. And then that didn't really happen, right? That one was a few months ago, and I had gone radio silent since then, which I do want to be the first to apologize to you all for. I know that a lot of people really enjoy and want to see those videos, and I'm sorry that I let you down. I've explained the reasoning why a few times to people who've asked in streams or privately or whatever, but I figured we'd come on here, set the record straight today, and in the meantime, we're going to slay out with the Ravenous in honor of getting it to drop. So I think it's worth addressing that the point of the DZ Farming series to begin with was kind of twofold. One, it is very true that I do enjoy hunting super rare drop chances in games, just something I've liked doing ever since I played World of Warcraft back in the day, and so that was kind of a fun outlet here on The Division that I could do. But then also, as many of you know, I'm a big fan of PvP in the Division 2 and the Division games, and so the outlet of going into the Dark Zone with the context of hunting for those weapons, but then giving me a reason to go in and PvP, fight people, just have these dynamic moments, that was super compelling and fun to me. And the underlying theme of any of the content that I put out here on the channel is that I enjoy making it. I enjoy what I'm playing. Otherwise, what's the point? So I say that all to preface that you may be aware, I've talked about it in some videos, that I do not believe PvP in this game is in a very good spot right now. In fact, I think it's at one of the worst states that it's been in the Division 2's history. And I had pushed through that before. I mean, we had plenty of those episodes here on the channel from, you know, eras where PvP was not doing that great. But it really just seemed like in the past few months that things continue to get worse. New items were introduced that created more imbalances, you know, cheating and hacking got worse. And so all of that is to say that since that previous video, I have tried to record probably 3 to 4 DZ farming episodes on days where it was the appropriate targeted loot. They all had some of their moments and some of their fun, but it was undercut by, you know, just those moments of imbalance, whether fights were just super unfair, or I was really struggling to excel as a solo player in the current meta and balance. It just wasn't something I could put my stamp on and put out on the channel as something that was fun to watch, you know? So I didn't do it. So ultimately, that is the one and only reason why there has been a lack of episodes in the new series, is that I'm not going to put something out where I don't think it is enjoyable or I'm not having fun doing it myself. And so yeah, that's all it comes down to. Fortunately though, there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. We've also done videos talking about how the team is currently hiring a new lead PvP game designer, with their stated goal in the job description being to champion PvP efforts, work on new modes, balancing, all that stuff, which is fantastic. That hiring is still in progress as of me making this video, so that's going to take a little while to materialize and get somebody in and have them familiar with the game's systems and needs. But then also in a recent bit of patch notes that we got. I forget what it was for, but I'll put it on screen. They did confirm that a larger scale PvP balance pass is in the works. I assume, judging by their wording, that this will happen before they hire and bring in that new PvP game designer. All of that is to say, PvP is not going to stay the way that it is forever, fortunately. But again, in the meantime, it is just a case where I'm not having as much fun playing PvP. It's a lot harder for me to have those fun and good like hero moments as a solo player. And there's just not as many people in the dark zones. I mean, I'm in here on today's a Friday. None of my DZs had anybody in them. That's kind of become a trend as of late. And so while yes, I could make these videos going in completely solo and just talking into the mic, that's not really what I enjoy and what I'm here for. I like those moments of PvP. I like the unpredictability that throwing other players into the mix provides. So all of this is to say that despite the fact that we now have 2 out of the 3 drops that I was initially going for, and that we've gotten both of those after I went on a hiatus from this series, we will be back to secure that 3rd and final drop of the Bighorn. I cannot promise you when those episodes will resume because it's really just about whenever we start to see some of those PvP changes materialize. Or, you know, if there's a day where I'm able to go in the meantime and still have fun and still create a good experience and something to watch, then 100% I'll put that out. But as I said, I'm not going to force something just for the sake of forcing it, or if I'm not having fun or success on my own. So yeah, I hope that makes a little bit of sense and explains the absence of these videos a little bit more. I hope you all understand. I'm sure some people are just going to say, who cares, go for it anyway. And I don't blame you, but I got to do what I got to do for me, make sure I don't burn out on doing this. That is never something that I would want to have happen. As I said, this series has already had an incredible run, which I'm so grateful for, so I really don't want to jeopardize tarnishing that in any way. But yeah, we've now gotten a Ravenous and an Eagle Bear out of the Dark Zone, which is pretty wild. And we'll be back hopefully sometime in 2026 to keep it going and get that final drop. Once again, thank you all so much for your love and support of this series. I'm so glad that people have enjoyed watching them as much as I've enjoyed making them, and we'll see what happens from here on out. That's going to do it for me on this one, though. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you back soon. RogueGold out.